A big day at Challenge Mallorca, the first ever time a team time trial had been held. The Trofeo Ses Salines Colonia San Jordi will this year be ridden against the clock, a rehearsal for many going to the Tour de France, where it will start this year with a similar challenge against the clock. Barcelona, though, is a good 6 months away yet. 24 kilometres here, an out and back course up to Campos and then back to the coastline, home to the glorious Estranc beach in summer. This time, though, not so populated with a cold day. Thankfully, though, the rain had stayed away for this particular race. Unibet Rosa Rockets are aiming to be at the start at the Tour de France this year. They're now a French registered team, and they went out looking to try and make a name for themselves. Just 6 of their allotted 7 riders would finish, and instead of using the new ASO rules that we'll see at the Tour de France, which will see the first rider set the team and each rider take their own GC time, this was all about the 4th rider across the line taking the team's time. Unibet would set the lead. But then it was the turn of Tudor Pro Cycling. Stefan Küng riding in his new colours for the first time, one of the top time trialists in the world, and back on the old bike brand that he used to ride as well with BMC. They would take 8 seconds out of Unibet's time at the 12th kilometre, and when it came to the finish, they would put a heck of a lot of time into the rest. Tudor Pro Cycling in the lead and off to the hot seat. 27 seconds quicker. Now, down the years, Jayco AlUla have been one of the top teams in the history of this discipline. Could they do the same again here? Michael Matthews was riding for them, and they set the best time, taking 2 seconds out of Tudor at the intermediate. When it came to the finish, they were looking to put more time into their Swiss rivals. They didn't just look to do that, they did exactly that. Just enough to take the lead, conserving that 2-second advantage they had at the halfway mark. UnoX Mobility are now a World Tour team, and they were riding like one as well. Not specialists in the discipline, but solid enough. As they crossed the finish line, they were 16 seconds slower than Jayco. All eyes were on the local team Movistar, with Enric Mas back from injury and starting a new season. He hails from the island of Mallorca, and he was still there at the halfway mark when Movistar were just about equal to the fastest time. Mas didn't last until the end, but the riders that did were excellent. So good, in fact, that they set the fastest time. An opportunity for Spanish fans to start getting excited. Jayco knew that that was that. Out of the hot seat they walked. Movistar quickest by 13 seconds. The headline of the day, though, was the Remco reboot. Remco Evenepoel, the World Time Trial champion, having moved teams over the winter, riding his first race in the colours of Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe. They were 2 seconds off the pace set by Jayco AlUla at the intermediate check, but with a headwind on the way back, Evenepoel alongside Lipovic, Dens and other strong riders, they'd be looking to make sure they made it count. They were down to 4 riders though, the minimum number to come across the line as Evenepoel looked around with 3 Ks to go, but that did not hinder their chances whatsoever. Day 1 for Remco, and victory number 1 it looked like for Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe of the season. Only UAE was still to ride. It was a strong UAE team, but without the raft of superstars that bring them victory after victory. They'd won the opening day of the challenge through Antonio Morgado. The Portuguese time trial champion was again in action here. As they went through the 180-degree turn at Campos, they came back off the pace, and when they came through the intermediate check, they continued to be off the pace. 14 seconds down wasn't quite out of the game, but they'd given themselves a mountain to climb. We all know rather good at doing that, certainly when Tadej Pogacar's involved, but he wasn't here, and they weren't thereabouts in terms of winning this. 4th on the day, 19 seconds down, and victory on day one in his new colours to Evenepoel alongside Lipovitz and company. Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe off and running for 2026. They win by 4 seconds ahead of Movistar, 17 in front of Jayco AlUla. So delight for Evenepoel and Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe. All the hard work throughout the winter paying off. Not their biggest victory of the season, but their first, and a heck of a lot of confidence for Evenepoel and co as they head to the Tour de France. The Challenge Mallorca will continue live and on demand this week on TNT Sports and Discovery Plus.